Assalamu alaikum. A few days ago, I was having a conversation with some young Seminole men. It's three of them. Two of them get $10,000 a month, $10,000 checks a month. The other one, he was only half. He gets 5,000. He was half Negro, so they made sure they only gave him 5. Native Black Americans, people that come from the cotton fields of the South, stop accepting crumbs from the Democrat Party. Demand your rights and what you are owed for your vote. Without the Native Black American vote, Joe Biden would not be president. He would not be president. Make him earn your vote. Make the Democrat Party earn your vote. White supremacists love to come online and tell us how, oh, we just want handouts. I've earned that. My ancestors earned it. My ancestors earned it. I live in South Florida. South Florida got help for every immigrant group in the country that comes to Florida. They got help for them. But they don't want to help us. This garbage Republican government here gave the descendants of the Ocoee massacre scholarships. Scholarships? Scholarships? The land that was taken from their people is worth in the tens of millions. And you give us scholarships? Scholarships? Seminoles getting $10,000 checks. But you're giving black folks scholarships? Black Americans, we have to stop accepting this from Democrats or Republicans. Stop wasting your time arguing with people on social media about music, about television shows, about all this foolishness, and get what you are owed from your country. Listen, you were projected to be at zero net wealth by 2053, and that was before the pandemic. Trust me, that date has moved up. Y'all sitting up here arguing about this rapper and this actress and that actress, and you're about to be beggars in the country that your ancestors built with 250 years of free labor, lifetimes of free labor. And then white supremacists come and tell us that we are not owed anything by our government. Yet the government gave almost 2 million white families, the government gave them 160 acres per family. The white middle class didn't just pull themselves up by their bootstraps. These Seminoles ain't just pulling themselves up by their bootstraps. They are getting government handouts. Every white supremacist that you meet online running his mouth, his family has gotten land or grants or loans from the government to get to where they got in this country. I guarantee you, just like most of us can trace back in our family line and see where our land that we purchased and bought and owned after slavery was taken by white folks, they can actually trace their family tree back and see where their families got help, substantial help from the government. White folks now claim to be against socialism, but as long as they get into socialism, they quite happy. They are quite happy with it as long as they're the ones getting the benefit. They're only angry when you get the benefit. They ain't making no noise about these Seminoles getting these $10,000 checks every month. They ain't making no noise about that. They only concerned about you. They don't want you to have it. White supremacy is alive and well in America. They don't care nothing that your people gave lifetimes of free labor, and you accept nothing. Like, you accept the Democrats offering you nothing but crumbs. Joe Biden just signed an executive order for Native American criminal justice reform, but George Floyd bill is dead. But he signed that executive order for those Native Americans. In the COVID relief bill, they gave Native American tribes $31 billion. They gave your money to the state of Alabama, which is run by Republicans. Only thing she doing is building prisons. She gonna pay white contractors to build more prisons, you understand, to lock up Negroes. That's what she's doing with the money she got from the COVID relief. Okay? The Native Americans got their money, and these white folks got their money. I guarantee you, when you look at the construction companies building those prisons, it's gonna be companies with people that have connections to her and to the Republican government of Alabama. That's what's happening. And we sit back and we accept this foolishness. I know. I got them in my family. They got educations and they got a little something, and they think, oh well, we don't need to fight for reparations. Them white folks ain't gonna give it to us no way. What do you mean? You just accepting it. You just accepting that these people are gonna eat your children and your grandchildren's inheritance. My great grandfather's land was stolen in Statesboro, Georgia, by his white lawyer, who in turn his children and his grandchildren eating off that land that he stole from my great grandfather. Are we like, why should we just accept this? They're giving Seminoles $10,000 checks, and every white family in America that has something can trace their family tree back to government handouts, whether it's land or grants or loans, every one of them. And they lying to you and telling you, oh, we just worked hard. White folks lying to you, telling you they just worked hard, when every one of them's family can trace back to where their family got land or grants or loans or all of the above from the government, eating off the government, eating that socialism. They just don't want you to have it. You see? And the only thing they did for our people was take, just like my great grandfather's land was taken. The descendants of the Ocoee massacre, this piece of garbage Ron DeSantis and the Florida legislature gave their children scholarships. The land is valued in the tens of millions, and it's documented facts that the land was stolen from these people. And Ron DeSantis is giving them scholarships. Black people, stand up and fight for what is owed to you, and stop accepting these crumbs from these Democrats and Republicans. You know, it may be an uphill battle, but you got to fight for it because it's your children and your grandchildren. Just keep it a buck. Our parents dropped the ball after the civil rights movement. They didn't continue to do the politics that was necessary for their children and grandchildren. Are we going to make the same mistake? Fight for what is owed to you. Your government is giving everything to everybody else. Joe Biden gave Native American tribes $31 billion in the COVID relief. He just gave them an executive order for criminal justice reform. They send hundreds of millions and billions of dollars all over the world to everybody else. They got money set aside for Afghan immigrants to this country. Not saying that those people don't deserve some help. They helped you while you was in their country fighting that war. You should look out for them. But my ancestors gave 250 years of free labor, and you not gonna look out for me? I refuse to accept it. Assalamu alaikum.